What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. My name is Braden Carlson.
My name is Taylor.
My name is Shane, or as you might know me, Postart.
I wonder how long it's going to take for that to not be funny to me. I thought I was going to hold it together.
I look at Braden's face and he's
Yeah.
It's so stupid to find that hilarious. But yeah, this week we've got a couple fun little segments for you guys. But first, I wanted to front load, never stop plugging or always be plugging, whatever Joe said. Right now, one of my Patreon supporters graciously reached out and asked if I would be interested in basically taking all of his rocket stuff because he's kind of going on a hiatus. And Chuck Walker, shout out. So I asked him if it was okay. We're going to pay it forward. And I do a quarterly caption contest on Patreon where I usually give away a $100 gift card or a kit up to $100. But this month or this quarter, it's going pretty big. We're doing a Wildman Darkstar 4 dual deploy with a 54mm Aerotech tail cone retainer. So if you want to be entered to win that, you just have to be a Patreon supporter at $5 a month or higher and go enter the caption contest. And if you want to enter for just this month for $5 and have your chance at winning that rocket, that is perfectly fine by me. So figured I'd plug that up front. Rocket Vlogs. Nope, patreon.com/Rocket Vlogs. And there's also free membership on Patreon now as well, so you can just go check it out. I've been throwing some posts up here and there for the free members. And yeah, it's also how you can get in on all the podcast stuff before the podcast goes live, which we'll get into a little bit later. But today we are talking about building rockets, whether it's a kit or a scratch build or whatever else, tools that are kind of essential. You've heard us probably, if you listen to the podcast, tout about how much we love the Dremel and all of that. And we decided we should piece together sort of a starter set for $150 or less, where if you're going into starting to build rockets with zero tools at all, what we would consider essential, but on a budget. So each of us has brought a list of tools. We kind of played with it a little bit in that we didn't include sales tax or shipping or any of that, just the price of the stuff on its own. And we ruled out disposable stuff like sandpaper and what else did we land on for that?
Epoxy.
Yeah, epoxy for sure. Gloves, mixing sticks, that kind of stuff. We're talking about tools here. Tools, you know what I'm saying? Power tools in a lot of cases, at least on my end. So, but I am allocating myself to go last. So who wants to go first?
Postart.
Oh, all right.
Postart does want to go first.
I suppose. The first thing that I have on mine is the 6-inch digital calipers from Harbor Freight.
Oh,
Because I use them for everything, and they're incredible.
Dude, it really is like sometimes I can't find a ruler, or like I'm just like, this is way more convenient. I just go straight to the caliper set. So yeah, that's a good call.
It's just, they're so nice, and it's so easy to use, and a lot more accurate than just like a measuring tape, typically.
Tape measurer, as some might call them.
Yeah. I suppose.
Yeah, I've heard that a time or two.
Comes in at $20 from Harbor Freight.
What? That must be like the premium one.
is that the big one?
I swear mine was like $8.
It's the same ones that I have.
Oh, the one with the little plop down measuring
Yeah.
gauge. That is nice. I don't have that
have
on
the
mine.
$6.
Gang up. I was gonna say mine was like $8 or something like that. So probably $6.
Second up, I put just an 11mm ratcheting wrench in here. However,
This is very much so far. This is very much a Postart tool set. He's
Dude,
like,
he
this
has
is the essentials.
Really, I mean, he does kind of have it dialed though. He
I
has
know.
stuff
I mean,
in
I'm
the box that you
jealous.
like.
He always pulls it out. I'm like, wow, I would have never thought of that. It's really convenient.
Good call. Good call.
However, they're really expensive by themselves.
Oh yeah,
They're like $8 to $10.
You could get a non-ratcheting one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
Don't
just
be
kind of
crazy.
nice.
Don't
And
be crazy.
I've got the extra money in the thing. In the in the
Postart's
total.
Whopping out. He's like, you know what? $150. This is too easy, honestly.
Dude, honestly, yeah. But I put like $10 for one.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is insane for a single wrench, but it is what it is. After that, Harbor Freight cordless 8-volt rotary tool.
Oh,
Dremel.
you went cheap on the. No, it's not a Dremel. It's a rotary tool.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it is.
I can see Taylor and I probably both landed with the same project or product in our carts, but go on.
I will say it is not what I have. However, is Harbor Freight, you get a lifetime warranty and it comes with like 40 pieces worth of Dremel tool attachments, like cutoff wheels, sanding discs, stuff
you mean
like that.
rotary tool?
Rotary tool, yeah.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
It's not
Okay,
the
well,
same
listen.
thing.
It's
what
really
brand
similar.
is it? Is it Bauer?
Yeah.
I don't think it has a lifetime warranty. I don't think the power tools do. I think it's just
Really?
Pittsburgh hand tools.
Yeah, because they kind of blow.
Yeah, because they break a lot.
Everyone
I was
knows
under-
hand tools good, power tools bad. I mean, not all of them, but you know,
I gotta
you're
say, the
rolling
huge
the
belt
dice.
sander, that thing hits so hard. Free
That's
plug
fair.
for the $300 giant belt sander from Harbor Freight.
Blow the budget out the water.
Yeah, I'm sanding everything. Dude. I'm gonna use it for trimming my nails and stuff.
Oh, don't do that. You're going to end up trimming your fingers too.
They're a little long. They could use a trim.
Dude, I need
I was
that for my
definitely-
big toe.
My
Just
God.
that one. You just like clip everything else, and you're like, all right, I gotta roll that to the garage real quick. Gotta trim this bad boy up. It's getting ugly.
I've heard if you go at like a nail place or whatever, nail salon, I guess you call it. I don't know because I don't go, but I've heard that if it's bad enough, they pull out a Dremel.
That's so awesome. They pull out like the little finger sander. They're like, good Lord.
Just sanding off the calluses. Which, by the way, I've
Anyways.
done before myself. Anyway.
Dude, hold on. Let's dive into this. It's all about the pumice stone. I was enlightened by the pumice stone. It's like sandpaper for your hands and feet. Handpaper, some might call
I
it.
prefer just sandpaper.
I like the one of those cheese grater things.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Like the
It's
proper foot ones.
Yeah,
it's like
not an
actually a
actual
file
cheese
for your
grater.
foot.
Yeah. I don't know
No,
what
I do
that's
use
called,
an actual
but
cheese grater. I don't know what you got going on, but my sedentary work from home job has me really putting nasty calluses on the feet, as you might imagine. So anyway, back to the rocket stuff, I suppose.
Yeah. I was definitely under the impression that everything from Harbor Freight had a lifetime warranty.
And that's where a lot of people go wrong. It really is.
Because I know that like some of their pneumatic nail guns do.
Yeah. And like it could be perfectly fine. I feel like we've ascended to the point where I'm sure the knockoff Dremel technology has gotten acceptable, but I've had a few different ones
You would
that
think.
were knockoff ones, and they were just terrible. It was like a consistent theme that the shank wouldn't stay tight enough, and they would just like come unwound. And then I burned up a motor in one like 3 days after I got it. To be fair, though, I didn't
Jesus.
pay for it. It was sent to me for a car YouTube video. But anyway,
Yeah,
you've got what you got.
Harbor
Yeah.
Freight on the website says hand tools.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's on the page specifically for the rotary tool as well.
What do you mean?
Whether or not it has a
Oh.
warranty.
Let's see. I can check
No
it real
loud
quick.
typing. The
No,
podcast.
I
people
have
will
the
go
tab
ballistic.
open. We're fine.
Okay. I'm like gently touching my keyboard. This is the riveting audio that people come to the Anti-Gravity Group podcast for.
Yeah.
I think we caught
okay,
their
so it's
attention
90
with the
day.
cheese grater.
I think so. Yeah, they'll hold on through this for that.
It's a 90-day warranty.
Okay.
Okay. So
That's
not
not
a
too
real
bad.
warranty.
Yeah. It's okay. It'll
Yeah.
get you through some stuff.
90 days sometimes feels like a lifetime, huh?
To be fair though, you can probably get like a 2-year plan on it at Harbor Freight for like
Yeah.
$6.
Yeah.
There's that. But you might also have to go in every few months and trade it in for another one. Anyway, I think we've dwelled on this long enough. What's your next item?
Following that up, I have a drill. However, I'm now seeing I definitely have the price in wrong.
Wrong the bad way?
Wrong the I've got enough forgiveness that it'll be okay.
Oh
It's
yeah,
only
I
$7
forgot.
off.
I
But
forgot
don't
he's
know
such
how
a
I messed
pro.
this up.
All right. Well, we'll say to the fine people what drill it is.
All right. It's just a Warrior 12-volt cordless from Harbor Freight. Because my big thing is what matters more than the drill is the drill bits. Because they will go a lot farther. So I went kind of cheap on the drill because it's $20. But then
Is it rechargeable?
Yeah.
Like it's cordless? Dang.
Yeah.
I kind of want to buy one of those just to see if it sucks.
Yeah, right? Following that up, I have the Milwaukee Shockwave titanium drill bit set, which is $35.
That is it's such a good call though to go with good drill bits, especially if you're doing fiberglass stuff.
Yeah.
That is something I took some serious contemplating with on mine as well.
Yeah, that's all that I have down. So it comes out to $138.
All right. Blew the big expenditure on the drill bits. Is that the
I
most
did.
expensive thing on your list?
No, the rotary tool was more. It was $50. And I was like, that seems kind of expensive for what it is.
Yeah, that is expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody hands together for Postart's list. All right, that's enough. Taylor, you're up.
Okay. First on the list, we have an authentic Dremel tool. Thank you.
All right. Wait,
$50.
what one though? You got to be specific.
Well, I didn't
Is
write
it
down
the
the
one speed, the
cheap,
2-speed. All right, well, we'll go on.
It's the cheapest one. Whatever.
We'll
that
make a
is.
note because we're doing like a going to the rocket launch tool set next week. We'll try to be more specific with item names.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you guys are smart people. You can figure it out. But we'll spoon feed you next week.
I feel like every time I'm at the store, there's two options. There's like the Dremel 300 and the Dremel 3000.
Yeah, the numbering is an interesting choice across the board. But yeah,
it's
the
10
cheap
times
one.
better.
Yeah. And then next I have a nice Harbor Freight belt sander for $35.
Nice.
That's not the
Just a
cheapest
handheld
one.
I
So I
assume.
think it's
Is it Bauer as well?
I think it's a Bauer. I didn't write it down, but it's not the cheapest one because I know it's a piece of junk. Like
I have to say, I have a Bauer like wet dry like shop vac, and I have put that thing through some stuff, some S, if you will, and it's still kicking. So while we're on the topic though, is Bauer Chicago Electric? Did they just like change the name of the company?
No, I think another one.
I don't think so.
Is former Chicago Electric.
All right. Well, we'll let people in the comments let us know what's on that. I don't think
Chicago
we need to deep
Electric
dive that too much.
Still exists.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
but not some. They just don't offer some. So some tools it used to be Chicago Electric for everything, but now for like the tools that are competing with like the Milwaukee and stuff, you have Bauer
Warrior
to copy Milwaukee, and then Warrior for Makita, right, or something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Warrior's the Milwaukee competitor because that's the more expensive one.
Well, Bauer's is red though, and then there's the blue one.
Oh yeah, I forgot. The color
Oh,
dictates the tool
Hercules.
quality. Oh, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
That's
Hercules.
the Makita one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the Warrior is.
Is it DeWalt? Supposed to be?
It could be. Yeah, I don't think it really matters, and I have to assume they're
Oh.
probably all made in the same factory.
Yeah,
Like,
it
'cause
just
I
cracks
have-
me up because the styling's just directly ripped off, and like the colors
Yeah.
are a shade off.
I have an old like a Chicago Electric angle grinder at my parents' house in Idaho. I forgot it when I moved, so I bought the Warrior one or whatever the cheapest one is. And it's like $15 on sale all the time, but it is exactly the same. Like the box is exactly the same. The tool
Same
is
as what?
exactly the same. The Chicago Electric one. That's
Oh.
why I think they're all just
Yeah,
made in the same factory,
I think-
and they just
I
like
think
put brushless stuff in some things, and they're like, okay, this is expensive now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah, we got the Dremel, we got the belt sander, $35. I think, yeah, got a cordless drill for 30. That's an 18-volt Harbor Freight
ooh,
cordless drill.
what's
Once
the brand
again,
on that one? Oh my god, you're dropping the ball.
Sorry,
I feel
it's
like
just the
18 volt-
$30 one.
Okay,
I feel like
well,
18 volt really isn't necessary when it comes to rockets.
You know why?
You know
why it's necessary? Well, it's not,
Why?
but just the 12-volt cheap one is not going to have very much power because like
is
Yeah,
it
but
because
like-
you have the sanding drums on there?
yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah.
have them in here, but I feel like
Oh.
I'm going to recommend one. Then you could
Yeah.
get the sanding drums.
That's
Yeah, there's
fair.
some variables. There was some stuff I was
It's-
like, I'll carry this over to the like field tool set.
It's like the I have a 12-volt Ryobi that used to be my like rocket on the field drill that I got as a Christmas present when I was a teenager, and that thing cannot run a sanding drum. Like it turns so slow.
It's just not cut out for that. It's not cut
It's
from
not
that
cut
fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the Dremel, the belt sander, the cordless drill. I got a $6 Stanley utility knife because that's my cutting thing of choice.
That's a good call.
We got a precision screwdriver set for $9. Tiny screwdrivers.
Mm-hmm.
A 6-foot Milwaukee tape measure. That's the one that has millimeters on one side and inches on the other.
Oh, nice. That's a good call.
Those are solid.
Because I started using those when I was doing like metal fab, building the race car, and now I just use them for rocket stuff, and it's so handy having a nice short tape measure. And then the $15 aluminum angle for drawing lines.
Dang.
So that's like $145. Now I didn't include drill bits,
Oh, you don't need those. You just get
but
the
it's
drill.
implied. To me, they're
What the remaining $5 implies the ability to purchase drill bits?
well, actually, you could find drill bits for $5. I'm certain of it.
That dude, pawn shop. Actually, I used to buy like DeWalt drill bit sets, like nice like carbide and titanium ones and stuff, with like a single missing 1/8" drill bit or whatever for like $4. So that is a
But-
pro play.
Forever in my rocket stuff, here we go, like Warrior 7-piece for $8. But forever, I had this set of drill bits that was like it was like a 6-piece that came in this little plastic holder, and I used those when I was actually I think they're still in my range box, but they will work. But it's like how many
All right.
holes you're drilling. You're not drilling metal and stuff.
Fiberglass kills them pretty fast, though.
It does.
I guess if you don't
I've never
build a
killed
lot
them.
of rockets, you know,
Oh,
you're just
Builds
out here
more than I do.
flying them. Yeah. Imagine not having like 50 rockets that have never flown before. That's
Dude,
chaotic.
honestly.
You should see the
Postart,
rocket room right
you
now.
have like
It's
3 rockets built.
you just gonna take that?
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
am.
yeah.
It's fair. I do.
All right.
He's
well,
like, fiberglass really wears him out. That's why I'm putting off building this rocket. I'm gonna go through so many drill bits.
yeah, I don't want to do it
exactly.
if it's gonna cost me a bunch of drill bits. That'd be crazy. Those things aren't free.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think you guys both brought some interesting things to the table that kind of tells me that maybe $150 isn't quite the budget we need, but importantly, people will be able to take a little bit of each and kind of decide what's most important to them. However,
I don't think I included anything that you don't need.
really,
I feel like the angle aluminum
yeah,
starting out, that can be a bit extensive.
How you gonna draw good lines? Use your eyeballs? No one
Door
likes that.
frame.
What if it's a big rocket?
Door frame. I've done it with a 6-inch tube before. You are relying on the door frame still being straight, though.
Yeah, I think that I'm against the door
And-
frame because I know too much about how nothing in a house is straight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
that's
much can
fair.
you really trust carpenters, dude?
not very much. Anyway,
You know, those old houses, those used to be straight.
yeah, they were taking their
Yeah.
time for sure. Well, okay, so I think the ultimate play, if you're really being stingy about it and you want that piece of angle aluminum, go to like a recycling center and dig through their scrap stuff, because I bet you could find it. And I've gotten some crazy good like mild steel for like welding stuff for basically free. But again, if you just want to buy things new and have it fairly simple, so obviously your dollar is going to go a lot further if you're going to pawn shops and buying used tools. I mean, I have a brushless DeWalt 20-volt drill that I got from a pawn shop for like $35. It's like a $200 drill. So if you really want to take the time,
Some nice stolen equipment.
yeah, dude, some of it like it has like names written on the side and stuff. One time I tried to pawn I just tried to sell it to a pawn shop, a plunge router, when I was a teenager so I could buy a nicer one. It was actually because it didn't actually fit on my Jasper jig. So I had to kind of like rig it up to make it work. And I was just going to try and sell it. And I got it from somebody on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever. And their name was written on it in Sharpie. Not like carved into it, just written on it. And they refused to buy it. So shout out to the pawn shop in Spring, Texas that's adamantly trying not to buy stolen stuff. Anyway, my list, I'm going to do a screen share so the people that are watching it on YouTube can take a nice look at this beautifully pixelated set of images that I have. But also, if you're just listening, I'll give you a nice in-depth detail. And the good news actually is I've built this out as a Amazon cart. So you can actually, if you want to just like go all in and take my word for it, you can buy all of these things from the link in the description. And full disclosure, if you get them from me from that link, I get a little bit of a cut from it. Anyway, I'm opening up strong with the Duratech 6-inch adjustable wrench, CRV steel wrench, wide jaw wrench, metric, and SAE scales for home, garage, workshop, and DIY.
I think the reading of the full name is
necessary.
excessive.
I was just about to say we're kind of ahead on time, so I gotta make it work. It's really funny to me too, but yeah, it's just like an adjustable wrench, speed wrench, whatever you want to call it. But much like Postart recommended one single wrench, this is applicable to sizes other than 11 millimeter. And
okay, hold on. I didn't explain that one, and I definitely should have.
Go on.
If you use quarter 20 hardware, the nuts are all 11 millimeters.
And then if you're building a rocket that's smaller and you use number 8,
Or
then
you
you're
build a
dumb
12-inch
for that.
Punisher with 5
3
16
eighths,
16,
yeah,
or whatever we use.
It's
then
too
you
much.
blew it. Doesn't the 12-inch actually have like 5 quarter 20s though? Or we did put
It does.
bigger ones.
No, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
those
sure
ones
they're
are
all
bigger?
quarter 20.
No, maybe those are quarter 20 because it's
And
the same
Postart would be
sled.
able to. He would be able to do the.
I remember
Punisher.
because I used my wrench on the nuts for the electronics bay.
Okay, well, anyway, my V2 has like 3 eighths. I've had some 5 16ths and stuff as well. And if you don't want to like, in most cases, you don't need more torque than you can do with an adjustable wrench in the rocketry world. So it's just a beautiful thing to have. So when
You
you're
don't impact your electronics bay lids.
the fiberglass ones, I do, of course. I use half a tube of red Loctite too. Don't want those things coming out. But yeah, it's just a great thing to have, and it's only $9.99 on Amazon with the 15% off coupon. Next up, official brand name Dremel 100-N7 single speed mini rotary toolkit with
Okay.
7 accessories: hobby drill, small pen, sander, garden tool, sharpener, craft, and jewelry drill. Black. Okay. This is just like Taylor. It's just like the cheapest Dremel branded rotary tool, and it comes with some basics like a couple sanding drums and the wrench and a cutoff wheel, which is a good enough point to get you started. The cutoff wheel will do pretty good work unless you're building a huge fiberglass rocket and you do a lot of cutting. But I'm going to operate under the assumption that if you can afford like 6 or 8 inch fiberglass kits, that you could probably afford to buy yourself a Dremel starter set as well. So we're trying to keep it simple for people that are kind of just like getting into it, don't really have a lot of tools. And yeah, I mean, I still use the single speed, the cheapest Dremel. I've had it for like 12 years, and it just gets the job done. It's just good.
I've burned up like 3 Dremels.
Have you really?
Yeah. Well, since
What
I
are
was
you
10.
cutting over there? You're like, I was doing titanium, but it's fine.
I don't know, but it's the brushes just get worn out. That's basically what happens. They don't truly burn up, but
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you really wanted to be meticulous about it, you could find somebody who could rebuild it. But
well, I
We don't
looked.
need it.
It's hard to. The brushes cost almost as much as a new Dremel, so it's like just
that way
get a
you
new
just have
one.
to buy a new one. It's planned
Yeah.
obsolescence, man. Moving on. Vivor, my homies over at Vivor, the same company that makes the vacuum chamber that I bought. This is their 7 amp belt sander. 3x21-inch belt sanders for woodworking with 6 speeds. 152 to 320. What is that? Meters per minute? What a weird unit of measurement for a belt sander. Powerful bench sander machine with 2-in-1 vacuum adapter, dust bag, ... You get it. It's $36.99. I should say the Dremel is $44.99 as well, which is what kind of blew my mind with Postart's decision to go with the knockoff one that costs $5 more than the brand name.
It's fair.
But you probably have variable speed at least on yours, huh?
Yeah.
You get on or off with the cheap Dremel. All right, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. It's not bad though. Like I said, it works great. This belt sander is, I assume, probably the exact same thing that was my what's the Walmart Power Tools brand name? Oh, I can't remember. Well, Hyper Tough, that's what it is. My Hyper Tough handheld belt sander that lasted me almost a decade. And I want to say it was like $22 when I bought it originally. This one is $36.99. But a belt sander is just one of those things that's like, even if it's not functioning like a high quality belt sander, for what we're using it for, it's going to be fine. And this one's nice that it has the vacuum attachment. So if you have a shop vac, you can just blow all your saw and or fiberglass dust directly into that. All right, up next This is it's funny this says DIY self X-Acto knife because X-Acto is a brand, but this is not an X-Acto brand knife. But it comes with 2 handles and 40 blades and a little like carpenter's ruler for $6.99. This is my favorite thing, the stolen like X-Acto knife design. And the number 11 blade, shout out, best blade in the game. It's really killing it. It comes with like 15 of them or something like that, and then it comes with some of the other ones that you can set aside in your toolbox and never touch, because I don't know anybody that uses those blades at all. But Taylor, you're a number 11 blade guy, right?
I don't really. What's the number 11? I'm not really an X-Acto knife guy.
Oh, wow. Get a load of this guy.
What's the number 11? Which one is that?
It's just like the standard like 45.
Oh, you don't use
doesn't
that?
have any goofy shapes, none of the nonsense, the scrapey things.
You don't use the regular angled one?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the best one.
Oh, yeah.
The cool thing, I wanted to put a utility knife because I've kind of recently been enlightened to that with the razor blades. But this is like so precise. Like I cut my King Kraken's fins with one of these, and they look pretty good.
It is more precise. I quit using them though because I would break them because I would try to use them like a utility knife.
Well, that's
like the part that holds. Well, because it's you just like I don't know. I'm just unless you're doing really delicate stuff. I don't have the patience for the X-Acto knife. I want to do some cutting right now.
That's interesting because I am, as has been well documented, not a real patient person, but I have cut 5.5-inch tube with an X-Acto knife before. And you just kind of, take your time, go around. Cardboard tube, they cut really nice as long as you have a fresh blade. If you have a fresh blade and you're like cutting vinyl and it gets stuck in your desk, it goes really nicely into your finger and then you have to get stitches, which is also a fun thing to do with an X-Acto knife. But I say, take my word on that being fun. Don't try it yourself. I promise it's a good time and all, but like the ER visit's expensive. Okay, up next, I've got the Adoric 0 to 6-inch digital caliper. Calipers measuring tool, electronic micrometer caliper with large LCD screen. Please, hold on. Let me speak, Postart. Auto off feature inch and millimeter conversion.
What if you want to measure something that's more than 6 inches?
I'm going to leave that one alone. $8.09. Then I guess, I don't know. Listen. Go to the pawn shop, get a tape measure, all right? Hold on, can we revisit before I say my last item? Taylor saying that he thinks that there's nothing missing from his list and he doesn't have drill bits. I wish I had caught that one in the moment.
We talked about that.
No, I said there was nothing on my list that you didn't need.
Yeah, there's nothing on our list that you don't need. Oh, he's brewing. He's like, yes, there is. This is dumb. Anyway, my final entry.
You don't need a wrench. You don't need a wrench.
What do you mean? You're gonna just finger tighten all your quarter 20 nuts?
That's right. Or use your little wing nuts.
Hold on.
Let's use your little wing nuts.
That's what I was gonna say. You give me so much hell for using wing nuts, and you're like, but you don't need tools to tighten those. Just use your fingers.
I'm just saying You'd
be pretty
people.
Stupid to use the one that's designed to be tightened with your fingers, but like just tighten it with your fingers. Otherwise, you're dumb. Taylor Jesse, everybody. That's it.
Who? Who? It's
Jesse.
Just Taylor now. It's just Taylor.
Anyway, the high spec 50-piece 12-volt cordless drill and driver set. So this is $39.99. So I went into it with some hesitation. There are a few things to keep in mind here. One, free overnight delivery if you have Amazon Prime. That's pretty cool. But it comes with a few different size drill bits. It even has a couple like spade bits, which is cool, and a bunch of different drill driving or like screw driving bits. Comes with a like little carrying case and everything, the charger and all this. and all the reviews were very good. And look, I'm not making any advocation for how you might use or potentially abuse the Amazon return system. All I'm saying is you have a 90-day return window on Amazon, and there's not a lot of things that they won't take as a reason to return something. So do with that information what you will. But my total comes out to $147.04. So you can take that $2.96 to a pawn shop and buy a stolen tape measure to appease Taylor. All right, drop it in the comments. Who do you think had the best list? I don't know, dude. Mine's pretty well rounded, I think, but Taylor's is too. Postart, you know we love you, but the 11 mil only wrench is just so far from left field. Like you put you budgeted $10 for that. You can buy a whole set of wrenches for $8 at Harbor Freight.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, I love the hyper specificity. There you go. That's the right word. But it's an interesting call for sure. But yeah, so there you go. You know, just some general ideas. Like I said, if you want to pick anything off of my list, the link is in the description. And there's a little bit of affiliate kickback. Speaking of kickback, Nigel the Rocket Cat has just made a noise on Taylor's microphone. And I believe what he's saying is to go to rocketvlogs.com and buy Nigel the Rocket Cat merch. Is that correct?
That's what he usually says. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good call, Nigel. So yeah, rocketvlogs.com, you can get the Nigel the Rocket Cat merch. All the sales from the merch is going to the Punisher Fund to fly the 12-inch Punisher on a full White Lightning load. You guys should probably already know this by now, but
I keep forgetting that we get to fly our big rockets again. That's exciting stuff.
You're just like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Honestly, give it up for big rockets. Okay, so back by popular demand, we have brought a second segment to the show, and I added a new element to it this time. We're doing a tier list for the motors that are available for the Aerotech 75, 51, 20 case. And I briefly considered including CTI stuff, considering it's cross-loadable, but I feel like that might have been muddying the waters a little bit, especially since pretty much all of it's impossible to get right now. CTI is making government motors. They don't have time for us hobby people, and, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, so we have just the currently available Aerotech motors, and it doesn't even matter that the L1175 isn't available right now because we all know that's an F-tier motor, so we can just get that out of the way quick. The
1175?
The Fast Jack one.
Yeah.
1170.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Did you put it on there wrong?
No, I didn't put it on there at all. It's not available. It's on the discontinued special order motor list now because it's garbage. All right, you know what? I hesitated. It is garbage. Anyway, the element that I now added is I threw it to Patreon supporters. I did include all the free Patreon people as well. So if you want to be involved with this, you can hop on the Patreon account for free, and all you have to do is sign up and make an account. But you just pop in there, and you'll get notifications when I post free posts, including stuff for the podcast like this, and we actually do, after this, we can revisit the toolkit stuff because we had some input from Patreon people. But anyway, I did a live poll that I started earlier today that allows everybody to vote on where they think the motors go. So now what we're going to do is build our own 75, 50, 120 tier list and see how much us, the infallible experts of high-powered rocketry,
of course,
see how much it aligns with everybody else's thoughts. So, allow me to share my screen. Hold on, we have to finish listening to the clap track. All right. For some reason, it won't let me share my screen with it. There's like a pending audio playing. So anyway, okay. Can you guys see that? All right. See if I can punch it in a little bit. Your back itches. And that is what people are here for, the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're opening up with one that I feel like is going to be controversial between myself and Taylor and Postart on the other team.
Those graphics are so tiny.
Yeah, I know. Listen, we're all going to live. The L1420 red line.
B.
Postart.
I'm between A and B.
Oh, I figured red was automatic S for you.
I was ready to go to like C, if I'm honest. It's just B sounds like it's actually a proper middle ground for all of us. Then,
yeah.
I mean, B feels like what it should be. C is more of my personal take, but I mean, it has a decent thrust curve. I've never flown one, and it's not really
what we need. If Carl or Gary or Joe or anybody at Aerotech happens to see this segment, what we need is a Big Brother K1275 with red line for the 7680 case. That's not what we're talking about right now. Up next, the L2200. We've actually already rated this motor as A, and I feel like it's kind of, for the sake of consistency, it has to go there again.
Yeah, it's still where I'd put it.
It's a full L. It's cool.
Yeah, the thrust.
That's kind of what gets it the pass to A.
Yeah. There's a little bit of noxious, potentially lethal poison in there, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the thrust curve is solid. The total impulse is awesome. Level 2 people, if you're not level 3, but you want to just absolutely max it out, right here, the L2200. That is every bit of an L. Super cool motor, except for the barium situation, but we don't need to go into that. The L900 dark matter. I feel like a long time ago, this would have been way higher on the list for me than I feel like I want it to be now.
Yeah, I mean, probably B.
I have only seen one that I remember, and it was really good.
Which one?
That was the one your dad flew.
That was a 1040.
Oh, it was.
And that one wasn't even that great. I have a video on this channel of my L1040, and then Taylor's, especially from LDRS,
Mine sounded
nasty.
Like an old skid mark. It was unreal.
You should remember one more L900 flight, though, Shane, because there was one at Rockstock that you took pictures of.
Oh, yeah. Right.
My hot take is that this goes in C.
Yeah, but everyone, I mean, in all of them I've seen in recent times, I would agree, but historically, I would put it in B.
That's where I'm coming from, though. It has been years since I've seen a dark matter motor that really got it. My K456 at LDRS was good, but it was a bagged one. It was an old one. I don't think it's there anymore. The magic allure, the C comes from me being like, this is a B motor, like from a performance perspective and what you get out of it. But it goes down to C for me buying it, hoping that it sounds like an A. You know what I mean? That is why an N2220 dark matter is F, by the way, in case you were curious.
I'd say B. I mean, they still look really cool.
Taylor, you sticking with B?
Yeah, because I still want to believe, you know.
Yeah. It's like how tricks don't look like fruit shapes anymore when you're a grown up. They didn't change the shape of the cereal. It's just like a Santa magic kind of thing. If you really believe there'll someday be... Oh, yeah, you're too young for the fruit-shaped tricks.
Oh, okay.
They brought them back.
Oh, we're all kids again. Oh, I was going to hit the clapping, but I'm just screen sharing, so I won't let me.
Yeah, Shane's like, what are you talking about? Weren't they always round spheres?
He was
Yeah.
born an adult. Okay, well, we can all cross our fingers and hope one day that the L900 and all the dark matter motors start sounding and looking cool again. But
I think they still look cool.
Yeah, they still look good.
Nah, dude, the L900 we saw at Rockstock was like pale gray smoke. It didn't even have that going on.
I mean, it wasn't like super dark smoke, but like the sparks still
That's
just
it.
look sick.
That's where the sentence needs to end. It wasn't super dark smoke. That's it. Trash, dude. Don't make me go into the Seinfeld rant voice.
That's unnecessary.
All right. M1297. This is S.
S. It's a classic.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just
I want to say A, but every time I see one, I'm like, man, those are pretty good. I should fly more of those. So.
it just really, yeah. I really kind of wish I had bought that L1120 from this past weekend, just because like that's OG. For those that aren't familiar, the L1120 was the M1297.
You could fly it from L distance.
Yeah, exactly. You really probably should be able to fly an M1297 from L distance too, but somehow just this motor's ISP went up. Just this one in the early 2000s. Only the white lighting used for the M1297 went up to make it a baby M. Probably entirely unrelated to the fact that it could be way cheaper than an M1315. A lot more people could use it for their level 3. I'm sure it's unrelated.
Let's throw some 1297s on a test stand.
I mean, if you're paying for it, let's go for it.
Yeah.
No, I think that'd be a good YouTube video. You could just use some of that money.
Do you have an M1297?
Yeah.
I would split the cost of a Altus Metrum Easy motor so we could data log it and see if you want to do that. You can even put it on your channel. Then you can have a video for 2025.
That's a discussion for not here. But yes,
Okay.
It's S tier.
Okay. I believe this is kind of cropped. I believe it's the M1500 Mojave Green.
D.
That's kind of crazy. Really?
I think C probably.
I was gonna say C.
D's a little aggressive. I don't know. It's
I
still
just-
an M
why-
motor.
Why would you buy it over an L2200 though? I know, it's an M. That's the only thing. Otherwise, it's still barium nitrate and a lot less average thrust. Yeah, a little more impulse, whatever. Like a barely.
I see a lot
more.
of M1500s, and I'm like, you should have just got the L2200. It's cooler.
And trust me, I know where you're coming from. Where you're like, yeah, but it's an M, and that's cooler. Because like that's how I was for a long time. But in my old age, I've now learned that the L2200 is cooler. Anyway, this one's gonna be hot from Taylor, the M1780 New Blue Thunder.
Ooh, probably B.
I was gonna say A. They go pretty hard, and you're the first to admit it, Taylor. The Blue Thunder's just not looking as good as it used to. Maybe that's another being a grown-up thing. It used to be vibrant and fun colors, but it's become dull, like grown-up life.
I have pictures.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, you're a kid. You're still like, you have the magic kid eyes. It's not like when someone time travels, they disappear from the picture.
Until like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you were. Then you finished your house. You became a homeowner, and then you were a grown-up. The timeline adds up.
Yeah, well, I've seen L1520s and K1000s that look good, though.
That's true. My dad flew a K1000, looked pretty good. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the M1780. And there was one time you saw a new Blue Thunder motor. I sent you a picture of it, and you're like, all right, that's pretty good.
Was it an M1845?
It might have been. It's just hard to go wrong with a fast 98mm motor. But again, that's not what we're talking about. Postart and I,
Fine,
put it
at A. Put it up there.
M2050 Propellant X S.
S.
It's so good. Like, that is hard to argue with. But actually, if I can, I want to a quote from our friend the Boosk, Thomas Booska, when we were talking about this in the Rocket Vlogs Patreon supporters Discord earlier, where he said, where is it? Mate, this absolute technical marvel of a solid propulsion system has granted us 5-pound M motors, loud as heck noises, the longest 5120 plume ever, and the ability to chew through aluminum forward seal discs. Absolute peak, unbiased, best motor. And I think the Boosk says it all in that one. M2225, Super White Lightning.
A.
I really like them. I'm going S.
I want to say S, but I don't know that I've actually seen enough of them. It's a great motor, but
they're growing on me currently.
I think I need to buy one and fly it to give it the S, you know. But
yeah.
I'm way good with A because it is a great motor, and that is our list. So now I'm going to stop the screen sharing. And
I feel like I thought there were way more motors. I guess I'm thinking of the discontinued ones.
Yeah, the L1040, the L1170,
L1365.
Oh yeah.
Or is that? I think that's what it was called.
The Metal Storm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember now. But anyway, we're going to move on. Now you know where we stand. Let's see where you guys stand, at least the Patreon supporters. Even the free ones. I guess free ads for Zenny and KPL on this one. This one's on the house, guys.
Oh.
I won't bill you for it. Shall we? Total results. In S, we have M2050 Propellant X. Oh, they pulled through for us. The M1297.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Sick.
We love you guys.
Oh, we got Nigel.
And in A, we have the L2200, M1780, M2225, and M1500. See, we were all on board with you guys right up until that last one. Fun fact, actually, if you're not watching this and you're just listening, they didn't put anything below B. The votes showed everything B or higher.
They're like, we love these motors.
Yeah, it's hard to be mad at a 4-grain 75 in general.
Yeah.
B, the L1420 Redline, and B, also the L900. Okay.
So we're kind of on the same page.
Yeah, we're pretty much identical across the board there. There are a couple things I wanted to bring up. So it shows the votes by breakdown if you click on the motors. So there's 2 F votes for the L900. So this is averaging.
Is it average it or what?
Yeah, 24 people, 122 votes. It averages it, and whichever one has the most for that given motor goes in that category. So you can see the breakdown here if you're watching it. I just want to throw some shade at whoever put F for the M2050. You're out of your mind. You are insane. Should we see what else got F votes? It says, I think there was a couple.
What about
more.
1297?
Total votes. There was somebody put F on the M1297 too.
Wow.
Did someone F all of them, you think?
Maybe. Let's see.
I think someone's just a hater.
L2200 F. No F on the M1780. You put F on an M2050, the M1297, and the L2200, but the M1780 gets a pass? You are. I'm operating on the assumption that this is all the same person, which could very well be wrong. But no Fs on the M2225 makes sense. 1 on the M1500. If there was going to be one, I was going to pick.
Yeah.
Wow, 4 C's on that.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty mid. That's
no, I'm agreeing. I'm just I'm happy about it.
Yeah, it is. I'm so glad. Yeah, I guess if you really averaged out those percentages, it would probably be more towards B, but it just goes based on the most votes.
I just feel like I see a lot of M1500s fly. Maybe it's just a lot of people fly in there first, and then they're like, wow, that wasn't as cool as I thought.
I should have got an M1297. No F votes for the L1420 and
Wow.
two for the L900.
Whoa.
That just didn't feel right. I still wanted to have the childlike admiration, but
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, next week we're doing 38,720 loads. So if you want to partake, go to patreon.com/rocketvlogs.
Dude, that one should be pretty good.
Yeah, it should be good. This particular aspect of Patreon is completely free. All you have to do is make an account, and then I'll put it up the day of the podcast recording in the morning, and let everybody vote. Let the people be heard. But it looks like for the 75, 50, 120, we're all pretty well aligned, and people
It's
liked
just a
it when
good-
What?
It's just a good case.
It is, yeah. There's not like, even if you get an M1500. Like, if somebody's flying an M1500, I'm not going to be upset that somebody made that decision. You know, it's not an
Yeah.
N2220. I'll actively be mad at somebody for buying one of those. This is so much N2220 slander.
It really is.
If there is anybody from Aerotech watching, they'd be like, okay, man, come on. But, you know, dude, I was thinking about that the other day, though. You know how much I would buy another N2220 if I could get it for the price I paid for that one. It was $585. Gone are the days. Anyway, looks like we're pretty well aligned with the 5120, and people seem to like it when I uploaded just the tier list for one of them, so I'll probably cut that segment out and upload it as its own video on the day this podcast goes out. And I think that brings us to our final portion here, where we're going to get some input from the Patreon people on the $150 budget tool set. I will say some people kind of missed the point. I guess it was a little bit of a direction error because I didn't specify necessarily that expendables or like disposable stuff was not going to be considered. So we'll dig in through a little bit. Some people did get it. Somebody asked like what size rockets, which I guess is applicable to some extent, but I mean, I'm using the same X-Acto knife on my 7.5-inch Iris that I used on like Estes stuff. So, okay. We'll start from the bottom. Emma Humphreys says, for mid-power, H to I, metal ruler, angle aluminum. There you go, Taylor. 15-minute Bob Smith thick CA. All right, well, you're kind of winning me over with the thick CA, getting a slide on the including disposable stuff. 80 and 320 grit sandpaper, a Kanzen knife, a Lutz 2-in-1 screwdriver, wood filler, chip brushes, Rust-Oleum auto primer, Rust-Oleum red, white, and black. Dang, that's in depth for
It
the
is.
preparedness, but that is kind of a nice like all around start to finish with building a rocket tool set. And if anything's left over, calipers, West System, G-Flex, intermediate cure, cordless drill, a lock 3-inch fin jig, and some plastic clamps. All
Why do
right.
I feel like that's like $300 of stuff?
I feel like it very well could be. And then Bryce and Nicole say used KitchenAid mixer. So
Checks out.
Chris, the rocketry nerd, says digital micrometer, a sharp utility knife, a piece of angle aluminum for marking lines on tubes, blue tape.
Oh,
All right, relax.
aluminum, huh? Yeah. No one wants that.
Listen,
Apparently everyone
nobody
does.
said that. Nobody said nobody
Yeah.
wants that.
You were just throwing shade.
I went many years. I mean, I didn't own an angle aluminum piece until like last year. All right.
Well, me too. Well, me too. But
Okay. And were your fins straight before?
well, I have one of those engineering rulers that I used on pretty much everything.
Yeah. Well, back in my day, we used door frames. Okay. We used eyeball in it. All right. The rail buttons still went on. Okay. And we walked uphill both directions to the rocket launch in the snow.
Well,
My
you saw what
God.
happened when me and Shane tried to eyeball it. Okay.
I mean, get good, I guess is all I can say to that. Eric Beavers says tools, a tiny screwdriver set, digital calipers, small dikes and pliers, a carryable toolbox with compartments, cordless drill and drill index, machinist ruler, there you go, and quality tape measure with a lock. I bet that's about $150 if you go really cheap with the drill. A Dremel would be nice, but it blows the budget.
Gotta have
be
a Dremel,
strategic.
though.
Yeah.
Problem
If we
is,
were gonna
you know,
say
I
one
really
to-
don't. I
Oh,
don't
go ahead.
use a Dremel that much, but man,
When
like,
you do,
get
it's
into
just
situations. It's
you're
like,
like,
criticism.
this is a gift from God, basically.
Like what? Imagine what you'd have to do to clean up some fin slots.
Yeah, I've done
on
it
a
without a
glass
Dremel
kit.
before. Yeah, with like 60 grit sandpaper in like 3 hours.
I mean, I think Tim has quality kits, but sometimes the fins are a little tight.
He's
You know
treading lightly, folks.
You know what's really dumb is I have a Dremel. I have a cordless Milwaukee one, and on my glass kits,
What?
a lot
You
of
have the
times-
Milwaukee one?
I do. It's so nice.
I
I splurged on
He's
it.
bougie, yeah.
want
got
one
it
so
a
bad.
couple
I have
years
the
ago on a
batteries.
sale.
This
Dude,
guy has
one
Milwaukee
for the
drip.
launch site would be so nice.
Yeah.
But for some reason, sanding fin slots, I'm like, this is therapeutic, and I'll do it by hand.
Oh, no way.
What's wrong with you?
A lot of things.
You know, when I have my Dremel, I'm not even upset about my fin slots being a little tight. I'm like, good, I get to use my Dremel. This is awesome.
Yeah, stretch the Dremel's legs a little bit. That's good.
Haven't used her in a while. Gonna blow out the cobwebs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Let her eat a little bit. You gotta start the car up if you're gonna store it. I don't know. Let's move on. Lanza Kalina says sanding supplies, various epoxy glues, and possibly primer and paint. They'll get things started for any project. After that, start getting fin jigs, calipers, and all the other items, tools that make building quicker and easier as you build more advanced projects. If I may make a recommendation, buy the tools before the paint and finishing supplies. Epoxy, good call. Johnny Beaumier says probably re-up on epoxy CA, sandpaper bar to hold it flat, Mylar that actually works. This is shade that he threw at me. So I tried the one you got on Amazon with West System. It was hell setting out or getting off all the pieces that got stuck. Hacksaw from that's a good one. And maybe a battery powered hot glue gun. Interesting.
Dude, I've
Measurement
looked for the battery hot glue gun. It's hard to find.
I just got a corded one. But yeah, the
Yeah, I know.
Duralar, dude. I was like, what thickness did you get? Because the Duralar was a godsend to me. They did him Duralar. Anyway, UPS Rocket Man says all items are from Harbor Freight. Multi-bit screwdriver, $9.99. Screwdriver set with tweezers, $7.99. Combination square. That's an interesting call. $7.99. Snap blade utility knife, $2.29. Postart loves those, by the way.
They're so good.
The breakaway blade utility
Yeah.
I
knives.
hate them.
I will say I'm taking, like, I don't have one currently, but the actual, like, slide out, like, metal casing
Yeah,
knives,
like a
what-
box knife that uses
Yeah.
a razor blade. Yeah.
I'm taking that every time over it. But the breakaway knives rip.
Yeah, he uses it instead of an X-Acto knife, like with doing vinyl stuff. Which, by the way, we can make custom vinyl signs, decals for rockets and stuff. chsigndesign@gmail.com. Postart will whip those up for you. Anyway, 20-volt cordless jigsaw, $39.97. 31-piece rotary toolkit, $24.99. 12-volt cordless drill, $19.99. Masking tape, $4.99. Assorted sandpaper pack, $6.99. 29-piece titanium drill bit set, $19.99. Which sounds like he went way over the budget, but I think he kind of wins. Because his total was $145 with 18 cents.
That's solid. That's really good.
I know there's no angle aluminum in there, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know,
That's a
some
pretty
of that
complete
is-
list, though.
Yeah, it would get you started. Some of that's not going to last though. But
Well, but if we take the disposables out, like the sandpaper and masking tape, that's enough money for
Does the jigsaw
tape
come with a
measure.
battery?
I have to assume so.
It's just
They
so
do
cheap.
sell a lot of things tool only.
Yeah, I forgot that was the most unfortunate thing that Harbor Freight decided to clone from the big boys. It's a Bauer 20 volt cordless. It looks like tool only. You almost had it, UPS Rocket Man. Still though, a pretty solid effort. Kind of also the only one who kind of took the concept and ran with it in the direction we were hoping for. Not like everybody was supposed to read our minds, but this guy did. So count it. Buckets. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Nope. Buy some Nigel merch.
Yeah.
Completely inappropriate use. I was trying to time that for your note.
Someone needs
but
Postart. Is there some way you can give Postart the soundboard and ban it from yourself?
that's not funny, and nobody else thinks it is. Anyway, my name is Braden Carls, and you can find me on YouTube, here on Rocky Vlogs, or on Instagram at BigB1011.
My name is Taylor, and you can find me on YouTube. Okay. You can find me at the Rocket Channel on YouTube.
My name is Shane or Postart. You can find me on YouTube at Postart Propulsions, or if you want pictures, rocketrypics.com.
We are the Anti-Gravity Group. This is the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, and we will see you next time.